ESWAT.
Remember how Golden Axe was basically an homage to Conan the Barbarian? Designer Makoto Uchida created it as a love letter to the Conan stories and movies. Well, ESWAT kind of feels like a similar situation, though this time the source material appears to be lifted almost directly from Robocop. But, of course, licenses cost money, and this particular license happened to belong to Data East at the time. You play as Duke Oda, the latest member of the Enhanced Special Weapons and Tactics Division of the Liberty City Police Department. The ESWAT division has some pretty neat toys at its disposal, but you have to earn the right to use them. This means you play the first few levels as a very vulnerable cop with very limited weapons, tasked with taking down gangs of thugs. Unlike Robocop, though, you don't need to get shot half to death in order to earn the ICE power suit. This suit turns you into a walking tank, armed to the teeth with a variety of weapons, a booster pack, and the ability to take a lot of damage before dying. Good thing, too, because like the aforementioned Protector of New Detroit, you're a slow, easy target. I really love this premise. ESWAT plays completely differently at the end than it did at the beginning. The idea of being a simple cop out to prove himself in the first few levels sets a really interesting tone for the rest of the game, and makes you appreciate how overpowered you are when you finally get into the ICE suit. The gameplay itself is heavily based on Shinobi, especially in that it utilizes a high jump in order to move from one plane to another in the 2D levels. ESWAT is actually a port of a System 16 arcade game released in 1989. Well, it's more of a reimagining than a port. The basic premise is the same, but the levels are almost all completely different, and only a few of the enemy characters from the arcade machine make an appearance. The Mega Drive game features longer levels with a lot more platforming, and the ICE suit has a much more diverse weapon selection. ESWAT's a pretty solid game. The variety goes a long way in keeping the relatively short experience exciting, as by the end of the game you're actually focusing a lot more on the platforming elements than simple run and gunning. And going from trying as hard as you can not to get hit at all, to managing your health and booster pack meters while being attacked from all sides, is a really unique experience.
Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about